Hello! Okay, so hang on a sec, guys. I'm going to get you guys up on the big screen. The bird scream. Woo! Will someone close this door? I left it open. Pretty sure that was me. Ooh, you choose something.
Sharing to the Facebook.
Pop out chat. Boom shakalaka. Boom, boom, boom shakalaka. Christine Salvati, hello, you're first. Paul Bennett. Paul Bennett, hello. Nate Slankard, Scott Coldhart, John Lowell, Hugo Cordialete, Jesdel Tarango, hi. Finn Godwolf, hello. Susan Atai, hello. I saw Susan Atai and then I rolled too fast. Oh my goodness, we're in trouble. Michelle Schulte, Masked Slasher, Vader Mods, Michael J. Lassiter, Skin and Bones, John C., Angel Martinez, Propmaster 101, what's up? Jeremiah Dempsey, good evening, sir, to you as well. Roly Coliate, evening, morning, I don't know where you are in the world, but it could be either. Chad Smith, hello. Rachel Powell, Ezekiel Bradshaw, Nana Fran, 62, hello again. Sleeping Lynx, hi all. Plastic Ninja is on with us. And I'm going to do 5 more. Let me find Plastic Ninja again. You are in trouble. Yeah. Ron Sheps, Edson Jews, Harry Fullbaum III, Ashley NP, hey hey, Woohoo Bingo, Rob O'Brien, Ivan Bloodhow, and Kalisha F. Woo, okay. That's everybody who gets a shout out. The rest, I appreciate that you are here, but the whole video cannot be me just saying hi and yelling out names. And I have to do things a little bit differently. I don't want to tell you, but you guys are going to see that things are being done a little bit differently. I can't show you half of the shop because we have stuff going on over there that is a big surprise for next week. So, yes, it does not involve these, but these are in my way.
Latoya C. says, you are amazing. You help me create such awesome creatures.
Thank you. Okay.
Margaret Carter says hello. Warmongers split ponies.
So what we are doing, if you haven't seen this before, on Wednesday nights, all right? So I drop a video every Wednesday. On Wednesday nights, in order to reward myself for being a good boy and getting a video out, I get to sculpt something because sculpting monsters is probably my favorite thing in the world. And that is my reward to myself. I'm checking for illicit materials. Okay, that is my reward to myself, is sculpting another mask. So, and while I do so, of course, I'll answer questions and we'll talk and comment and all that stuff. So,
Jordan Lynn says, Alan, I missed you. Thank you for being such a badass.
hey, how are you, homie? That's one of the awesome makeup ladies from Dark Hour.
Moridis, less of that, says, greetings from Asbury Park.
Hooray! Where's Asbury Park? That sounds very familiar. Asbury Park, like where is that? There's a few parks like I know where they're at. Like I know where Yosemite State Park is.
Ross Richard says, hello fellow Creepers family and maybe wife if she's there and guest sculptor.
Okay, tonight I don't have a guest sculptor. My life is too chaotic to support them. That's what's happening right now. Like this is a crazy, crazy time to be Mr. Hobbs.
Sarge Z says, say hi to me.
I say who?
Sarge Z.
Sarge Z? I have to say hi to Sarge Z? I refuse to say hi to Sarge Z. Why are they so demanding? Anyway.
Rob O'Brien says, I don't like change.
Yeah, so, well, you're just not seeing as much of the shop, okay? That's the only change. And I'm going to sculpt something. You guys are still going to pick what I sculpt? I have to grab my sculpting
thing with the deal in the ad.
Yes. Jordan
Lynn says, also, I just spent big money with your Bud Mitch at Bitty Multiplied.
Oh, Mitch loves people who spend big money.
Jordan Lynn says, Stacey, I recognize your voice. Yes, miss you too. Hi, everybody who said hi to me.
It is Stacy. Yes, Stacy is here. Oh, this can't be here at all.
Blackcraft27 says I've been excited to watch the stream today.
Oh, awesome! I'm glad to hear that. I love Wednesdays because I get to sculpt and I love sculpting. So that is kind of my true love. All right, I'm adding something that I don't think is here.
Asbury Park is in Jersey.
It's Jersey.
Told you.
That's right. Yeah. Is that the one that this is the thing? It's like. Is that?
That's Roxburgh. The night of the Roxburgh.
That's Roxburgh. Okay. Yeah. I'm bad at this. Okay. I'm going to add a troll because I just had a troll in my head.
Sarge Z says I'm ready for you to make something awesome.
Well, boy, I guarantee nothing.
Cobwebs is here.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 11 of these. And what I will do is I will go ahead and I'll pick 6. And then, Stacy, you have to pick someone who is going to count up the votes and figure out what exactly it is that I'm sculpting tonight. But I'm not going to give you guys all of these to choose from, so I'm going to... Written on each one of these is a different monster. Like there's Grizzlor on here. There is a Neanderthal on here.
Harry BC says
there is Clawful, which I'm actually pretty excited about that. Hordak is on there. And Oni is on there. That's a good monster. So I'm going to mix these up.
Scott Colhart says no Gravedigger tonight?
No, Gravedigger is happening. Well, Gravedigger is started, and Gravedigger gets finished out tomorrow.
Plastic Ninja says, sorry I haven't been hanging out as much, been working on stuff in my own shop a lot.
I haven't, because I haven't done any sculpting on Wednesdays. Like the past 2 or 3 Wednesdays have been paint-a-paloozas. And I love paint-a-paloozas, but it's time to sculpt something.
Hugo says, hi Stacy, watch the saber saw.
Yeah, watch that saw, for sure. And don't do what I do.
Scott Pointer says, Alan, when I grow up, I want to be just like you. You're the man.
Hooray! Drugs are trouble.
Grace says hi.
Hi, Gray. Oh, did you guys like today's YouTube Wednesday video? Does anybody have any plans to make a barrel body? Completely different from a bucket buddy.
Latoya C says, pumpkins for pool noodles were so fun to make.
Hooray, that's awesome.
Corinne Sanger asks, what part of the monster wheel are you sculpting tonight?
I'm trying to figure out what kind of monster I'm sculpting. It's going to be their face, and I'm just going to pick, now that I've mixed them up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6.
Says, before the night ends, we'll see the other side of the shop.
No, you will not. Yeah, this is a big deal. Okay, I don't think that one should be in there.
Blackcraft27 says, I've never seen anyone sculpt before. This is going to be a new one.
Really? Okay, so here are the things. Who is picking?
All right. How about Plastic Ninja?
Plastic Ninja, are you available to tally votes for a little bit and figure out what the people want me to sculpt? Are you available to do that?
Angel Martinez says, add a dragon, please. Happen and Mojo asks, what kind of troll?
I can add a dragon for next week. Yeah, as far as what kind of troll, it'll be dealer's choice. That's me, but it'll probably be along the 2nd edition, long nose kind of.
Plastic Ninja has to leave soon.
Okay.
But Ezekiel volunteered.
Ezekiel volunteered.
Yep.
All right, we're going to let someone in Australia handle the fate of what's happening. All right, absolutely. Ezekiel, if you are in, then you are in. Everybody, here are the 6 choices. I'm going to tell you all 6, and these people are already voting. I haven't told you.
I know.
Like, it might not have made it in, whatever you want to vote for. And I didn't look. You saw me looking here. These are some good ones, though. All right. Are you ready? Grizzlor. Grizzlor is a monster from the Masters of the Universe. I know Ezekiel will not let that one fly, probably. But basically, he looks like a beast. He's a monster. He's like almost like a wolfman kind of deal. So there's a lot of ways the sculpt can go that isn't necessarily just what it started out as. The second one is Spikor. That is another Masters of the Universe villain. Like these are lined up right for Ezekiel. Because he's like so over Masters of the Universe stuff. But Spikor is another, he's a cool, like an orc that's covered in spikes. It's kind of cool looking. And I think he'll be a fun thing. And then the Neanderthal, I've wanted to sculpt a good caveman Neanderthal mask for a while because I want to play one at Haunt. I want to play a caveman who like just got thawed out and mess with people in that capacity. And then Clawful, which is like a crab monster type guy. Clawful, a crab, like a lobster crab kind of guy, yes. And then there is, what I just wrote down was Troll. Troll is one. See, it's not as well written. I think Chelsea wrote the other ones. So Troll is on there. Is that 6? And then, Calibos from Clash of the Titans. I just wanted to sculpt that with the horns and the face. I think he looks really cool, and I like Clash of the Titans. So, again, Grizzlor, kind of a Wolfman guy. Spikor, kind of a spiky orc. Neanderthal, it's a Neanderthal. But I'll turn him up to 11 to make him scary and haunted house worthy. Clawful, lobster, crab, monster guy with reptilian and insect type features when I do it. Troll and Calibos from Clash of the Titans. Much more towards the classic version, not the modern Clash of the Titans that was solidly okay.
All right. Danny Wonder asks, have you ever made a one-eyed, one-horned flying people eater?
I've not. No. I take my monsters very seriously. So I don't really make like monsters are my life. I don't make a lot of joke stuff. Like I don't do joke costumes or joke monsters.
Happen among this is a literal neckbeard troll. Would be interesting.
Yeah.
Ron Chef says Valentine's a good night. Dan McCorson said they got 5 inches of snow yesterday, another 3 to 9 by Friday night. I guess we'll see who's hardcore for haunted trails this weekend. Hopefully the people will show up.
Holy moly, 5 inches. Wow.
86 here today.
Skin and Bones says just remember, Alan, don't cut towards your fingers.
Yeah, or let it drop down towards your crotch. That's not good either.
Cobweb says they usually use PVC for bodies. Haunting by Design says love the barrel body idea. Looks very sturdy.
Listen, if you normally use PVC, try the barrel. It's amazing because it stands up by itself. It's so easy. We knocked it out, less than 2 hours. We had a finished figure. I've added another shop sucker, what do they call the air filtration system? So now I have 3 in my shop, one right over where I paint. I foolishly had one over there and then over there, but not right where I paint. So I peeks for you.
Dan, of course, says this winter we will make barrel bodies. Glenn Wyrick says need a barrel.
Yeah,
Vader
get those barrels.
Says I want a bucket buddy Chucky still. Stone Farmer says hello. Corin Sager says random chaos.
Yes, my life is random chaos. This is what I do.
Sleeping Leaf says love the barrel body idea. Lion Cook Thor says love the YouTube video today. Masato K says hello. Jordan Lynn asks demold questions. I'm making silicone prosthetics. I anticipate issues with demold even using release. Tips on the process?
What are you're casting silicone prosthetics into what kind of mold? What's your mold made out of? Because that does make a difference.
Stone Farmer says don't forget crabs tonight.
That means clawful.
So much vote. All the vote.
And there is not enough, there's no good clawful references, so I'm just going to be,
Enigma asks, Alan, how do you drill into the popsicle sticks to make the big wrinkle tool?
I don't drill, when I make them out of popsicle sticks, now I use my plastic ones, but when I make them out of, my wrinkle tools look like this. That's a nice wrinkle tool, right there.
Ken Rich says, I love YouTube Wednesday. My Myers is one of my favorite horror icons.
Oh, fun.
Masters of the Universe choices are going to happen. Ezekiel says, I'm coming around for Masters of the Universe.
He really liked the Whiplash sculpt, if I remember correctly. He's like, well, Whiplash is actually pretty good. Because it doesn't matter what they were originally. The cartoons and even the toys were so poorly detailed I have a lot of wiggle room as far as getting them to look the way that I want.
Celeste Kitty says, made a cool noodle bodied kid to sit out front and has either a pig or a goat spinal column. No remember which it was on top of the bone pile.
Sweet.
Robert White says, hello, I'm late.
It's all fun and games to get a pig or goat spinal column.
Mask Slasher says, I bet you use your mask name sticks to clean mold afterwards.
I do. I actually throw them right back into the bin, and then they're used. You know, I'm not going to throw them out.
Enigma says, not the wrinkle tool, the bump tool, I think. Instead of a point, it's like a U on the inside.
Oh, I don't make those out of popsicle sticks. Those are laser cut from acrylic. All of my sculpting tools on the website are all laser cut from acrylic. So it's laser cut. I would have made it now for a while there I was using a Dremel with a sanding disc and going right into the end, but they just don't hold up very long because of the grain of the popsicle sticks.
All right, Jordan Lynn says, I whip up an easy flow 60 hard cast with the Poly 1512X.
Okay. Or do you need to do a two-piece mold? I mean, how crazy are these prosthetics? Silicone is very forgiving. And are you using Baldies on the inside first? Are you doing encapsulated silicone or straight silicone?
Scorpio 1911 says, what's your opinion on PermaWet clear coat?
I like it. It's good. I normally go with cheaper options. And the PermaWet can crack if it goes on too thick. So.
Ezekiel says, I'm counting and influencing. It's down to Grizzlor and Calibos.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Chad Smith says, wow, we're already near 150 viewers. Warmonger said, sculptable noodle.
I'm not going to sculpt it.
Blackcraft27 asks, where do you purchase the clay for the sculptures?
Well, okay, always get your clay local. You don't want to ship clay from the far reaches of the globe because it's so heavy. So always try to find, I get mine from a company called Trinity Ceramic or from Biddy Mold Supply. So those two are local to me, so I drive there and I get it. Now Trinity Ceramic's about an hour and a half away. Biddy Mold Supply is about an hour away. But if the place is within 4-hour drive, don't ship it, in my opinion. Look for a ceramic supply store. That's where you want to get it.
Hauntings by Design asks, any advice on corpsing the skelly snake from Target?
Use the thinnest cellophane or saran wrap that you can, because it's just a snake and it's going to so easily just kill the detail of the spine. I would be very careful about that.
Kenneth Booth says, hey Alan, finally get to watch you again. I'm working on my miniature pirate Skelly's Cove with haunted trees.
Sweet. That sounds awesome. Mini sets are a good way to start thinking about maxi sets.
Mask Slasher says, thanks for the pledge change, by the way. It works fantastic. It smells good also.
Yes, it is a refreshing thing.
Lorna Level is tuning in from Battsville, Indiana.
Hooray.
Good evening, Robert White. Good evening to me.
I don't know why this one's new and I shouldn't use a new one.
Liz Alquist says Neanderthal or children found you last week and the whole family's been watching while we make set.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, there's the dirty one.
There's always a dirty one, Stacy.
Scorpio 1911 says, I was wondering because I'm trying to remove this white haze that's on my mask for the PermaWet.
Yeah, if it's done in too humid of a condition, it can do that, and then you'll clean it with like water or alcohol, and then it goes away. But then as soon as it dries, it hazes up again. It's a urethane, so it does that sometimes. I'm sorry.
Angelus Lucifer says, I use a pool noodle to make one of those things that float the pool.
Yes, that's very crafty of you.
Edson Juice says, what, no sandworm?
Were you not here when I sculpted Leech Lord? I mean, that was pretty much a sandworm.
Happen Emoji says, I thought the Masters of the Universe toys were fairly detailed for the time. Most of the toys were similar detail until McFarlane Toys came out with detailed toys that were also postable.
Yeah, but if you go back and look at them now, they just look like every head is a potato. I mean, they're not really great sculptures.
Jordan Lynn says, I have the Baldies. I intend to make encapsulated only on the flat prosthetic, not using a face cast. The silicone prosthetics I worry about are the face cast ones.
Okay. All you can do is do some testing. and pull some test pieces. And you might be able to put a toughener in, like not a deadener. You don't want to put any deadener in, mix into your silicone so that it'll pull out a little easier. Do you plan on using any deadener? Certainly don't use any deadener in your first coat or your first bit of silicone. That way you have the toughest possible with the best stretch. That's the one you're trying to tug out of the mold. And then you're encapsulating your deadened silicone to give you the movement underneath.
Crazy Joe 67 says, I love your videos.
Why, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Edson Juice says, no, it's not leaf storm. Leaf storm is cool, but not a sandworm.
Well, I suppose.
So when are we cutting him off for choosing?
Oh, what time is it?
It is 7:49.
7:49. So let's say 7:53.
Oh, he's deciding already. Calibos it is. Let's go.
Oh, it's Calibos. All right, awesome. So this is a bad guy character from Clash of the Titans, and I think he was. I don't think he was macking on a girl that Zeus liked or something. I don't know. And Zeus turned him into a monster. And
he killed all the winged horses.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he hunted down all of the Pegasus horses. That's right. That Zeus liked. Normally, if Zeus gets in problem, ladies are involved. Because Zeus cannot keep it in his pants.
Steve Pop says, hello everyone. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Feel the Pain says, thanks for the live stream.
Feel the pain. Probably
Chad
not.
Smith says, I really want a couple of gargoyles. Have for several years, but I can't find any good ones to put outside that are really expensive. Thinking of sculpting one to cast in concrete. Would silicone be the way to do it?
No, I would not use a silicone mold for concrete. I would use a latex mold for concrete. That's what the big concrete casting companies normally use, is latex. And it's a lot cheaper because the silicone just won't hold up. The concrete is going to leach a lot of the oils out of the silicone, just like concrete leaches oils and stuff out of your skin. So there you go.
Jordan says, Vinny said to work my way up with the deadener. Once I have the process down, I do intend to make and sell transfers. Thanks for the great responses.
Okay. Oh man, I love Prozate transfers. There's or silicone transfers. There's just not enough out there.
Oh, that's exciting. Cobweb says, freaking nuts. I'm going to do a Halloween next week and drop a video.
There's a lot of how-to Halloween projects.
Ryan Dean says, hello everyone.
Hello.
Bob Donza says, in the 20 minutes I was watching today's video, YouTube just told me you were live. What did I miss?
We voted, and I'm going to sculpt a Calibos character. Calibos is the character that I am sculpting.
Ezekiel asked, is that Stan in the back?
That is Stan. When Stan comes over to this side of the shop and stops working on his project, we can show you his standals for the day, and he can say hello. Stan is here. He is a busy little beaver, as they say, and he is working away on that side of the shop while I work away on this side of the shop.
There's much excitement over Calibos. Finn Goggles says, yes, Calibos. I have the Trick or Treat Studios version of the mask.
You do? Awesome.
Angelo Spooker says, yay, Calibos.
They say what?
Yes, Calibos. Rob O'Brien, yes, Calibos will win.
Calibos.
Michelle Schulte says, smash the thumbs up, creepers.
Yeah.
Nathan Jones says hi.
Hello, Nathan Jones. Was there anybody who I didn't say hello to at the beginning of the show who would like me to say hello to them now?
We'll get there. Blackrock 27 says, now we're going to have to watch Clash of the Titans. Capital Mojo says, time to sculpt an afro for Calibos.
I think I'm going to not sculpt the afro. That'll be applied later. And I may update his hairstyle.
Jeff Leach says, hello again from Iowa.
This may be the Joe Dirt of Calibos's with a sweet mullet.
Susan Attai says, did you give up on the multi-camera setup?
Giving up is such a strong word. It's not dialed in yet, and I haven't taken the time to order a microphone because, I've just been so busy. So eventually I will order a good microphone. We're having sound problems, and it seems like every time that I did the multi-camera setup, we had to stop and go back to just the phone show. So in the winter, when I'm so in the woods. In the winter, when there's no leaves on the trees, I'll have a better signal, and we'll try it again then, because my internet is beamed from a tower right to my shop. So, but right now there's a lot of leaves on trees and stuff.
Calibos says Tots has a Calibos mask.
They do.
Paul
Tots has so many licenses, it's not even funny.
Paul Bennett says Calibos, lots of detail and texture.
Yeah.
Feel the Pain says, what's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know if I have a favorite scary movie. Let's see. I very much liked the recent one, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, where it's the little monsters from the house. They go in and they're whispering, and they're good little monsters. And then that was really fun. The new Wolfman I thought was great. I thought that was really good with Benicio del Toro. That was really good. I appreciate a lot of good horror monster movies, but it has to have a supernatural element. If it's just people killing people, I can see that on CNN, and I don't need it.
Chad Smith says, how does one mold in latex?
You take the thing that you're molding and you paint latex all over it, and you let that dry, and then you paint latex over it again, and then you paint latex over it again, and you do about 5 to 10 coats, and then you'll do a coat of latex and you press burlap into it, and cut into squares, and you latex over that. You do 2 layers of burlap, and that's your latex mold.
Horror Beauty says transfers are amazing.
They really are.
JLR says there were 2 movies. The second one was me. Sarge Z says, do you decorate your house for Halloween? We'd love to see it if you do.
So I don't normally decorate my house for Halloween. Not because I don't think people should, but normally I work a haunted house. Like, I'm working. I would not be able to do this if haunt season were kind of normal. So, yeah.
All
so
right.
no.
Anthony says, do a Lady of the Lake from Blind Manor. That would be cool.
I haven't seen what that looks like yet. Me and my wife are trying to watch it, but and that means we're going to watch an episode every 2 weeks or so. And we have gotten through 2 episodes, so we're doing really good. And we will continue watching it. But I don't watch a lot of TV because I'm in here working on stuff or editing stuff that I worked on in here.
Josh Bosley says, how do you do in Still Beats? Just found you about a month ago. What are we making this evening?
We are sculpting a Calibos mask. I always sculpt I don't always sculpt. I try to sculpt on Wednesday nights. On Wednesday nights, because I posted a video on Wednesday day, I try to reward myself with doing something that I want to do. And who doesn't want to sculpt?
Ezekiel says, I have a care package for Stan, and I have no address. Tell him to PM me.
What the heck, Stan?
I will send you my address, Ezekiel.
Josh Newman says, make sure you hit that thumbs up.
Hooray. I would, but I'm working.
And what else is Mullet Calibos?
Mullet Calibos is the best Calibos.
Jeffrey Saltkill says, hello, Alan and wife. Not wife.
This is not my wife. They do sound alike on the internet.
That is true.
But that is Stacy, who works in the shop here quite often. And my wife is taking care of things and getting ready for Monster Camp, which is happening this weekend. So she may pop in later, but she is not with us right now.
And guys, we are trying to keep up with comments. If I haven't seen your comment yet, I promise I'm getting to it.
Yes.
Jennifer says hello there. Jennifer Pugh says my cat Mitten says hello.
Hello, Mittens.
Pumpkin sends a line of jack Scum will rise sends a ghost. Salty Scrunt says your videos have been what inspired me to get back to making cosplay props again.
Hello. You fumbled over that
I did.
just enough for me to hear. Your videos have inspired me to get naked. I'm like, oh! But hey, make stuff is better.
Back to making cosplay
Yeah,
props again.
that's good. That's
Cal-
way better than what I was thinking.
Cobweb says give Calibos Perseus' hairdo.
Oh, yeah.
They were both kind of 80s perms that one was a little looser than the other.
Calibos was the tight perm.
He had a tight perm.
Durder says how are you doing?
What's his name?
HFHF DHDHR. Puff puff durder.
Huff, huff, dur. Okay. Well, you were involved in that name, so you like it. I don't want to say your name out loud. I feel like I'm internet bullying.
Right. Angela's Whisper says, hello, Mr. Sculpting.
And if I'm going to bother bullying, I want to do it in person.
Kipperly99 says, I need to see that sweet, sweet mullet. Jeff Leach says, trying to convince my wife that the November classes would be a fun anniversary weekend.
Yeah. Well, you better convince her soon. I think we only have 3 spots left for one of them.
TJ Moore says, was so hoping for a Neanderthal. Oh well, maybe another time.
Did you vote for Neanderthal? Did you get here in time to vote?
Sleeping Link says, my internet is being slowed by snow in the pine trees.
That will do it.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, for the link to the shop. Blackcraft27 says, Poltergeist, one of my favorites.
You know what? That's a very good movie. Now, I like my movies to have a supernatural element, but I also prefer monster movies to kind of ghost movies.
Angela Lucifer says, the Incredible Melting Man.
I am a big fan of the vomit monster from Poltergeist. That was really nice. That comes out of a tequila bottle by Hayden Fox.
Joanne Kraft says, in the future, you'll have to make your rendition of Pumpkinhead.
Yes, eventually he'll make it onto the list. I know that'll be a full head mask, and it's going to be a big one. Okay, here we go.
Michael Astor, you're being sneaky. We'll get there. Paul Bennett says remake of Clash sucks. Crazy Joe 67 says, do you use sculpting tools when making monsters?
Yes, of course. I actually sell and make sculpting tools. I'm using one of my sculpting tools right now to rake out this clay that I put on. I've been noticing that my work has been getting kind of big, so I'm trying to scale back and calm down a little bit with this sculpture.
Finn Godwell says, hey Alan, if you like the Del Toro version of Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, check out the original 2. Both are great.
Okay.
Chad Smith says, when molding with latex, I'm assuming I would have to make another mold to hold the shape.
It depends on what you're molding, and how thick you make your latex mold. If you do 3 or 4 layers of burlap, normally no. I have a video where I think I'm making fiberglass sconces on my YouTube channel, and I use a latex mold, and I do a fiberglass mother mold.
Scum will rise, and Alan is awesome. How's it going, brother?
It is going very well.
Jordan Lynn says, hey, remember the Wizard of Oz SFX Gore version I told you about last year? If so, that's what I'm sculpting the prosthetics for.
Sweet.
The SFX Gore version of the characters.
Awesome.
Jeremy says, do you know Calibos and Bubo were 2 characters made up for the film? They were not part of pre-pathology.
Yes, I did.
Michael Astor says, hey, Alan, how about panning the camera for the new people who haven't seen the Monster Shop?
Nope.
I can't today
That was a good
because
try.
I have some secret sauce things that I'm working on.
Who's that that said
That
that?
was Michael Astor.
Good try,
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah,
You were here in the beginning, you know.
he's a schneeker.
Thank you, Scott Colehart, for posting my headdresses link. Mike Murphy says, hello, maker of monsters. I would like a shout out, please.
Hello, Mike Murphy. You are deserving, so you shall have one.
Ron Shep says, I bet the other side of the shop is covered in reddish orange fur.
No, Beastman is not a surprise. This is going to be a surprise.
Crazy Joe 67 says, my first time seeing you live.
Awesome. Well, welcome. So I do the videos during the week, and those are all how-to. But the business that I run is actually making masks and costumes. So a lot of what I'm doing on the live videos is making masks and costumes. So it's not as much of the straight Halloween DIY, unless, of course, you want to get into making masks and costumes.
There's a whole conversation about Burgess Meredith happening.
As there should be.
Yeah, apparently Michelle says the Burgess is also the original Penguin of the Batman TV show. Now I'm showing my age. Rachel's laughing over the naked thing. Michael Astor says, thumbs up, folks, it helps. Angela Lucifer says, how about a Sinbad creature, a Medusa, or the one that looks like Calibos?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many good things with Sinbad. Love it. Harryhausen's one of my favorites. I may do a Medusa at some point in time.
Al Matra Art says, I have 2 original Monique the Maid props by Gag Studios. They're painted foam, and after 20 years need some touch-ups and patching. Would Loctite foam work and the standard paint formula?
Yes, it would, actually. But you don't even have to use that because that doesn't flex. You can just use regular, I'd use a high-end acrylic. I wouldn't use a cheap acrylic on them. But you can use just acrylic paints because it doesn't flex.
Chad Flyboy B says, hey guys, what's being sculpted? I just got to tune in.
I am sculpting Calibos from Clash of the Titans. Now I'm sculpting my version of it. It's not going to be exact because I don't have a desire to make a movie accurate Calibos by any means. But I want to do something very much inspired by that. And yeah.
Hugo says, Stacey J, you'll be tired. 200 plus people already watching the sculpture. We're at 204 right now.
Stacy's working very hard, yes. And all the new subscribers, thank you guys very much. And all the new watchers of the lives, thank you very much. I hope that you enjoy what we do. And I hope that you enjoy your time here with us. I know that your time is precious and I appreciate you spending it with us.
Cowboy says, Caesar Romero refused to shave his mustache to play the Joker. Tutwork Studios says, hello everyone.
A knocks on the moon!
The Scum Will Rise says, Suspiria is a good movie, the original and the remake. Lauren
Okay.
Level says, I love your ideas.
Why, thank you. I had ideas once, it was very dangerous. Terrible. You drowning, Stacy?
No, I didn't. It just reset down to the bottom and I lost it. Angela's Whisper says, molds were aerodynamic.
They are aerodynamic.
DJ Moore says, yes, you got here in time to vote for Neanderthal. You got outvoted.
Sorry.
Sleeping Lynx is one of my favorites with Legend. Robert White says,
Oh.
sounds like the dogs are having fun.
Meg Mucklebones from Legend is phenomenal.
Crazy Joe 67 says, I love the cage made out of plastic barrel.
Awesome.
Scott Colhart says, 37 hours, 15 minutes and counting until MC7.
Hooray! You're talking about Monster Camp 7. That is where people come and they come into the shop and we start on Friday morning. We sculpt a mask, we mold a mask, and then we pour it up and they finish painting it on Saturday.
After notice says, Burgess Meredith is also an excellent regular on the Twilight Zone. You have a charismatic devil and sympathetic bibliophile.
Yeah.
Sleeping Lynx is almost 200 people so far tonight. 203 right now.
Well, you guys are awesome.
Cats Vegan Ones has just found your channel. Love it. Thank you. I'm attempting to make a bucket buddy.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Awesome.
Gene Drake says, just started watching a couple weeks ago. Thank you for such an enjoyable diversion from an old theater major. Dan McCorson says, can you YouTube a DIY to make realistic weapons like axes, crowbars, knives, and different choices of materials and the best process to make them?
Well, okay, so I have a prop weapon video on using Sintra plastic, and they actually look pretty good. Now, that won't work for an axe. It's a different process. That's a sculpt and a mold. But as far as the knives and such, I think Sintra plastic is the way to go. A lot of times the foam knives, they're just too thick.
Goliath says, I just want to see a Trolloc with full horns, feet, fangs, and fur work.
That's awesome. If you have a particular Trolloc that you want to see, maybe send me a couple images of it, and I can kind of work that into my brain and see what I can play with.
Chelsea says, guys, 191 watching, not even 70 thumbs up. Help on out.
Wow.
The Happy Extruder says, smash that like button, helps the channel.
The happy extruder.
I know.
I bet they're happy. They get all their aggression out.
Big Dog Mask says, hello all.
Hey, big dog.
Daniel Moyer says, have you ever made a gargoyle? I don't see it on YouTube if you did.
I have made lots of gargoyles. Now, are you talking about a full costume, or are you talking about a statue, or are you talking about a mask? Because...
Oh, your notifications are on.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about that crazy noise.
Warmonger says, where are the dogs? They'll move the demo.
They will.
Big Dog says, you didn't get a notification.
There we
Sorry,
go.
guys, we're
Fixed.
working
I'm sorry. Told you it's nuts.
Alicia F says, like button super smashed. Prison
Hooray!
Guard 88 says, first live video I've seen. Love to watch you when I'm planning what to make next.
Yeah, make all the things.
Mass Slasher says, when it comes to thinner molds without burlap, what's the cause of concern other than it being easier to break if dropped? Does latex pulls deteriorate molds or just lose detail?
Detail. It's all detail. And it's a teacup, and that's okay. Teacups are ceramic and they're thin and they last for years. Now, you don't put anything in them that is gonna, wear them out over time, so it works a little better for them than it does for molds, but you don't have to have burlap in it. Some people actually do themselves a disservice because they put in burlap and they don't do it correctly and they trap air. So I'm not a huge burlap fan all the time. I do it if I'm trying to keep a mold really light. Because then I'll do 2 layers of plaster and then I'll do a layer of burlap.
Mike Cherzanowski says, hey guy.
Hello.
Crazy Joe 67 says, I'm into wasteland style. The things you make I can so use for my wasteland truck.
Have you seen my Apocalypse mask line? I've done a lot of those. They're very wastelandy fun.
Jasmine says 200. Michael Thor says 204.
Whoa.
Paul Bennett says, lots of viewers tonight. Wow. Jean says, hello, I love your work.
Well, thank you, Gene.
Ike Camacho says, find and fulfill your destiny.
Yes, do it.
Thank you, Scott Colart, for the making fiberglass wall sconces link.
Wow, that's an old video you found. Awesome.
Jean says, I'm looking forward to meet you and your team next year. Safety first.
Awesome. Are you going to come to Trans World Trade Show, or how are we going to meet?
Finn Goggle says, can barely keep up with the comments with 200 plus folks watching. I feel for you, Stacey Hawkins, doing a great job. Thank you.
She works very hard. Yes.
Reading fast used to be my job.
Yes.
Josh Bosley says, do you ever use resin to make anything? Also, my bad. Josh Bosley says, do you ever use resin to make anything?
Yes. Yes, I do. I have several videos on making silicone molds that I then pour resin into.
Sauce Rock says, Medusa with animated snakes would also be neat. Joe Reese says, my sculpt I just finished. I couldn't find my sculpting tools, so I used a butter knife to sculpt it.
That sounds wonderful.
Line Cook Thor says, welcome all new creepers.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of folks who have been watching for literally years, and many who we picked up on a regular basis at the whole beginning of the COVID thing. So thank you guys for hanging out with us that long. And we try to be very welcoming and supportive here. We don't do a lot of negativity. I'm just not into it. So we're going to all be nice, and we're all nice to each other. Here, I'm asking you for that for a couple hours a night. That's it. You guys can go off and be jerks all you want. The rest of the time, if you're going to hang out with us here, I want you to be nice.
John C. says, Bubo was probably based on the seeing owl associated with Athena and Mount Olympus. The little owl Latin name is Athena Nocturna, meaning Noctua, meaning night of Athena.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott Kohler, for posting the Stillpiece Live Creepers Facebook group link. Christine Salvati says, I got contacted today to make a full digigrade stilt werewolf costume for a small budget film. Full muscle suit, full moving jaw resin mask, and he said $2,000 was too much. Is it? I'm doubting myself.
No, that's not too much at all. I wouldn't do it for $2,000. That would be that's just more work than that.
Also, Christine, major kudos on your outfit that goes along with the Scared of My Shadow mask. That is gorgeous. I'm really in love with it. Captain Dempsey says, is your paint line ready? And if so, what is the cost?
All right, so we should have labels here soon. Right now I don't know the cost off the top of my head. Stan probably does. He's probably giving me the stink eye.
Right now.
He's giving me the stink eye. So, Stan, do you remember how much the paint costs?
I can look it up, but yeah.
Okay, so here's Stan. Hi, Stan.
Hi guys, how you do?
Stan is working on the other side. Oh, you're doing good work over there.
Thank you.
I almost said what you were working on. But I can't. So there's Stacy. Say hi to Stacy.
Thank you for your
And
patience.
we're Calibosing over here.
Yeah.
Are you going to tell them about paint? Or
Oh,
Do you
I gotta
remember?
look up the price.
Stan's going to look up mask paint. What they're talking about is I make stuff for mask making. So I sell head forms for sculpting, and these are my sculpting tools. So I make a lot of stuff just to make people's lives easier, I hope. And I'll be selling mask paint here very soon.
Celeste Kitty says, I'm going all in to make my short film ideas I've been too afraid to make happen for over a decade. Happen soon. Maybe I'll need to bug you for crafting help more.
Awesome. I'm here.
Los Angeles Art says, wowzer, legend, love you.
Well, thank you very much. You're very kind.
Dan
I
McCor-
appreciate that.
Dan McCorson says, got the trail email yesterday, can't wait to go again.
I don't do anything that anyone else can't do.
Big Dog says, what are we up to? Stacy, don't forget to breathe.
She don't breathe. She got gills.
Josh Wilson says, hi Alan, what type of clay are you using?
This is wet clay. This is just a water-based clay. You can tell it's mixed. It's a couple colors. That's because I'm using bag scraps. I'm not using new clay.
Red Dog 850 says, would Lexan remote control paint work for masks? I know the paint is flexible.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. So I can't say yes or no. If the paint is flexible, that'll help.
Yeah.
But it may also have a carrier in it that eats the latex. Some things, enamels will eat latex and make the latex sticky for the rest of its life.
Ezekiel says, you will only ever be strong if you're producing your own light. This kicked me in the butt the other day. Thanks for being a lantern from far away. So many lanterns in here. Thank you.
Well, I think that's a true thing. I think that is, you have to be able to self-start. You have to be able to light yourself up. And, I mean, if you can light yourself up, then other people will be drawn to you and help you accomplish what you need to do. And then it's your job to light others and make sure that they can produce their own light.
Los Angeles Art says, I found heaven. Lorna Level says, my daughter and I made your Grim Reaper. Loved making it. We made 3 of them.
Awesome.
Jordan Lynn says, curious if your mold/casting course comes with materials to take home or just to mold in the studio. Also, realistically, if you had an entire set for live casting in silicone, I'd pay big dollars.
I got you. And we'll probably do a head cast lab here coming up. We'll have to see when. It looks like it might be February, depending upon how life goes. So.
Evan McGeekern says, I might take medicine to get back to the stuff I like. Good.
Great. Do it. If that's what you need.
Look, if you can't make your own serotonin, store-bought is fine.
Absolutely. Yep.
Happen Mojo says, Legend is almost a really good adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. Phase 2 Effects says, hello.
Hello, Phase 2
The
Effects.
Happy Extruder says, I use 3D printing in my Halloween decorations. Just want to say thanks for all the awesome ideas. My wife has several projects lined up from your videos.
Awesome. I love that.
Much marveling over how many folks we got in here tonight. 208 right now.
Well, hi everybody. I'm sculpting. I'm making a latex half mask, and we do. You can see that we do try our best to keep up with comments and answer and hear you. If you have questions about what I'm doing, maybe you're new to the whole channel in general, ask, and then I would not mind at all talking about what's going on and such.
Riot Demon says, just purchased a bunch of pool noodles at the Dollar Tree and a heat gun today because of you. Lorna Levels is going to try the pool noodle pumpkin tomorrow.
You're going to get some stuff done. That's awesome.
Yes. Sado-K says, I like the space noises. I guess maybe we're able to get all the notifications but that one.
I think I turned up a notification.
Jason Hurst says, good evening. Kimberly99 says, just finished painting Tim. Daniel Moyer says, for the gargoyle question, a statue. I think that would be fun to make.
Okay. That's quite possible, yes.
Jordan Ezel says, did you get my photos?
I don't know. I have not been on the internet today. I've had other people on the internet for me. When I say that I've had a busy day, I went to sleep just before 7 a.m. and then I was back in the shop working, what, Stacy, 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, so about 10 a.m. And literally working the whole time because I have things that they just popped up and that I have to do. So there.
Probably not yet.
No, I haven't yet.
Celeste Kitty says, how well will screen mesh work instead of draw cloth for a statue with PL 375?
I don't know. That's an interesting idea. It's not as flappy to begin with. You may not even need the PL3. If it's screen, if it's like window screen, you might be able to kink it and hold it into shape without the, get it all shaped and then put the stuff on it to fill in all the holes. Use it like the stucco people use diamond lath,
Danusa says, obrigado.
Obrigado.
Passenger says, I bet it being so close to Halloween that you're getting some extra YouTube traction.
Yes, I am, for sure. We're jumping up a couple hundred subscribers a day, and that's good. I mean, it helps the life of the channel. I love what I'm doing, and I want to be able to keep doing it. And time-wise, that's always the thing, is time.
Zeus says, been watching your videos for 2 days, very entertaining and educational.
Been watching for 2 days. Holy moly!
Chad Flyboy says, got so confused sculpting the crow mask. I kept sculpting into the plastic mold, kept thinking the clay would be too thick.
Well,
Or Beauty says, yeah, 206 Creepers creeping on you, Alan Company. Haunted by Design says, I'll see you at Transworld and MHC.
hooray!
Kippley99 says, just finished painting, spruced up a store-bought skull by corpsing it with TV.
Sweet, that's awesome. I love doing stuff like that. That's one of the most fun things, to take something that you buy in a store, you buy from another artist, and be able to work on them. Tuesday night live, I was able to work on a Michael Myers mask, and I got it painted and haired and finished, and that was really fun. So it's something that I didn't sculpt, and I think sometimes when you sculpt it and you're working on it, you are a little stuck because you have a vision, but then when you kind of kick the door open when you start working on someone else's stuff, because you don't know what their vision is and you didn't have a vision for it. So you have just more opportunities laid out in front of you, and that's nice.
Lorna Level says, I can't find the spray foam you use. Where do you get it from?
I buy it from Home Depot, and I buy it from Lowe's. It's at Home Depot and Lowe's. It's in a red can, Loctite. It's good stuff.
Black of course says, good job, Stacey. Thank you. Danusa says, Uso do Brazil. So, more Brazilians.
Yes, hooray.
Goliath says, Frolics are like Tetris pieces. There's no standardized sculpture. They come in all combinations. That's why I was interested in your revision rather than front-loading you with an image.
Okay, I gotcha.
Skin
Cool.
Bone says, and no politics. Let's make monsters.
Yes, absolutely. Politics, no politics and positivity. That's what it is. The only virus talk we'll do is what directly affects the industry or what we're doing right now.
Latini Towel says, hello from Michigan.
Hello, Michigan.
Jean says, my husband and I will hopefully attend Monster Camp next year.
That would be amazing. I'd love to have you out.
Masato K says, have you thought about doing the guest people remote like you used to do?
That is possible. I don't know how to do that on YouTube. So I would have to see, there's a technical window that I have to either crawl through or have someone, yelling instructions at me. Because I'm not necessarily a tech person, I'm an art person. And I don't necessarily, if I did it, I think I would have to do it on another platform, so I don't know if it's possible on YouTube.
Brian Rosales says, just discovered your channel a few weeks ago. First time catching a live video.
Awesome. So the live videos are a little bit different. This isn't, well, this is how to if you want it to be. Ask me questions, I'll answer them. But it's not necessarily how to, it is more, I have work to do.
Dear Lord. Okay, Chatsma says, okay, so I've had this weird thing happen to the last couple of masks I made. The sculpt is cleanly around the eyes on the armature. I mark it very clearly where to cut, but the casts are having an angle across the eye, making it hard to keep the eye open. Any ideas?
Send me pictures. I'll need to see pictures. What it probably is, it's probably the weight of whatever it is warping the eye socket because there's not enough structural support to keep it there. Imagine a mask and you cut the mouth open, you cut the mouth out, and then the whole bottom jaw falls down. Because there's not enough support right here. You need a jaw, and you need some structure. You need some ridges in there in order to help hold that in place. I have a mask that when I cut the mouth open, I have to glue screen into it just to hold the mouth in place. Sometimes the weight of the latex does weird things.
Decompressed file size says, finished my first clay sculpture after years of starting the other day, and I watched your video on making sculpting tools. They worked great. Thanks.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you.
Crazy Joe 67 says, I just started following you. Your videos show me how to do things.
That is my plan, actually.
Jordan Lynn says, I want to see Alan's frolic brainchild for sure.
See, I don't even know what they were. I have to look that up. They remind me of creatures called joinings, which were in a series about a character called Waylander the Slayer by David Gemmell. David Gemmell was one of my favorite fantasy authors. He wrote a series called Druss the Legend, and he wrote The Legend of Waylander the Slayer. And those were pretty good.
Paula Bennett says, I just gave pool noodles to a great friend. I'll order more for next year. I'm going to buy like 4 boxes of those for my font.
Yeah, and they're worth it. They're such a great building material.
Jerry Collins says, a little late. Hi, Alan, everyone.
Hello, Jerry
Celeste
Collins.
Kitty says, Stan the man.
Stan is in the house today.
Scott Colhart is talking to Jordan Lynn. Hugo says, hi, Stan.
There you go.
I Camacho says, have you ever messed with Pepper's technique on your hunt house?
Pepper's Ghost, yes, I have. I have done a lot of Pepper's Ghosts. And I have a plan to do a mini transformation chamber for YouTube Wednesday. Because I used to do them a lot for, what I did them for was, you know, turn yourself into a werewolf, you put your face in, and there's a werewolf mask on one side, and then you turn the dials and, you know, yeah, I know what I mean.
Like if Thor says hi, Stan.
What's that? Oh, hi.
Hunting by Science. Stacey, hi. Angela says, how an evil jackalope.
Jackalopes!
Happen Mojo says, don't forget the time you were doing live vids on Facebook. For dark times.
Yeah, I mean, well, I did them because they were easy. And you know what? Sometimes I can't get YouTube to broadcast because the internet's too bad, but Facebook will. So every now and then, if my feed drops out here, I'll go to Facebook. I'll go to the Sculpting Live Creepers and I'll go there.
Finn Goggles says, hey Stan, nice socks.
Thank you.
Scuttle Rise says, I was reading how when you were 10 years old you scared your gym teacher with a fake spider. That's awesome.
I did. That guy's a jerk.
Crazy Joe 67 says, I'm an artist. I love that you show how to do things for an affordable price.
I try to.
Sebastian,
I try to give solid advice, and sometimes the advice is, don't go cheap on this, man. It's important to spend the money. So.
Sebastian Edwards says, thank you so much. Your videos are helpful. I never thought to use can foam. I've been working on a mask. I used it and I loved it. I tagged you guys in my Instagram post. Thank you.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that.
He clarified. Angela Lucifer said, how about an evil jackalope?
I don't know if you can look at a jackalope and tell if it's evil. Like, it's a bunny, you know, and it's a bunny.
Harry Fullbaum III says, what live events do you have coming up besides this weekend?
We don't have ones that are named and dated because just the state of the world right now, we don't know what's happening. And I'm only able to do the one this weekend simply because the haunted house isn't open.
There are some dates in November that are up on your
Oh, yeah, we
on
do.
your-
We do
on your
have some in
Instagram and
November.
on the website.
In November, we have an airbrush lab and a Krampus mask making lab, which both of those I believe are really fun, but I'm a little biased. When you guys watch me work on a mask, you know, and finish a mask up, that's basically what mask lab is. Krampus lab is just that the mask is going to be a Krampus.
Kimberly99 says, always wanted to try sculpting, but I cannot draw at all. Not brave enough yet.
I don't draw very well, but I sculpt okay. I practiced at it. And I'm sure if I practiced at drawing, I would get better. So, you know, it's about practice.
Crazy Joe 67 says, I have parrots. They think they need to be involved in my art projects.
I hear you. My puppies also believe that.
Calibos says, start small with polymer clay. Joe Reese.
You can, yes.
Joe Reese says, one Wednesday, would you add the Deep Star 6 creature to the list of monsters to choose from to sculpt?
I would have to look it up. Isn't that Cthulhu-looking thing that busted out of the bottom? I'll have to look that up.
Big D Haunter says, hi folks.
Hello, Big D Haunter.
Baba Daza says, I loved it. I made a drawing about it, the lantern.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Jerry Collins says, 207 are watching you.
Wow.
Wow. Says, thank you, Ellen, for being a safe place to be.
Thank you. We tried.
Thank you. Finn Goggles says, careful with narcissists. They'll snuff your lantern if you let them.
Yeah.
Jordan Lynn says, also, I gotta go get my own sculpt done.
Yeah.
Love y'all and miss scaring the poop out of people with you and Stacy.
No kidding.
Masato K says, make sure to like the vid.
Thank you, Masato.
Phil 1982 says, hello from Houston.
Hello, Houston.
James Turner asks, what are you sculpting?
I am sculpting a character based off of Calibos from Clash of the Titans, based off the original. And I'm just putting in that hard structure right now. He's got those harsh cheekbones. I'm just, oh, and this is telling me how off my nose is. Sometimes the camera tells you things that you don't know. Yeah. Scott Colehart, thank you so much. I saw you just posted a link.
Yes. Horror Beauty says, my mummy mask came early. Don't have the floral spray, but I can use regular spray paint.
That should be fine.
The Mask Slasher asks, when will be your next full mask sculpt or two-piece mold live stream or video?
I don't know right now. Like right now, I've got orders coming, and I'm going to start on promises and things for Christmas. So I have orders that I have to do. So Alan's me time gets pushed back to make sure other haunted houses have their monsters.
The Goose Gang says, what's up?
Hello, Goose Gang.
John Mosley says, thanks for getting my name right. And I didn't catch your name, give yourself a shout out. It's Stacy. Hi, Josh. Los Angeles Art says, merci, watching from France.
Hooray, awesome, thank you.
Shadow Jim 81 says hi.
Hi, everybody.
Catherine Dempsey says, do you offer any full head armatures?
I do not at this time, and the next one that I'm going to offer is actually a 3/4 mask armature, because there's just not one on the market. I'll be offering a female half mask like this, but a female head, and then I'll be offering a 3/4 mask armature. I don't have any plans to do a full head because there's other full heads on the market, and they're good. David Mosher has a good one, and I'm a fan of the Ed head. I mean, I've got an Ed head sitting right here that I use all the time, this guy, and I'm a fan of that. And down here, just to there, I can go to there. So over here, thanks, Stan. Stan's looking out for me. That's a CFX armature right there, and then that one back there, that's David Mosher. That's a real big one. I recommend that.
Shadow Jim 81 says hello from Wisconsin.
Hello.
He says, how do you get? And I'm not sure. I need more words than that.
Yes. Finish your sentence and we will help you.
Blackcraft 27 says the Michael Myers mask came out looking amazing. I had so much fun watching that.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you, Scott Kohler, for the link for Loctite Phone.
What they're talking about is I did a Michael Myers mask on Tuesday, actually, because a Fran, which is a friend and a fan, sculpted it and sent me a copy because I helped him a lot with his molding questions and sculpting questions and things. So he sent me a copy very kindly.
Regina Fettig says, I've been watching you for years. I've been playing with Loctite Foam and made horns for Krampus.
Isn't that stuff fun?
Phase 2 Effects says, are these the same tools you made in your sculpting tools video?
This actually is 100%. It's a pen. It's a big pen with wire and wire wrapped around it, and then 5-minute epoxy clay. So yes.
Tutwork Studios says, not a tech person either. Spookshack SPFX says, could you refresh my memory? What's the name of the clear coat you use on masks?
It is hold on.
Liquitex?
Liquitex clear varnish. Liquitex high gloss varnish. Liquitex high gloss varnish.
James Turner says, going to start a carnivorous plant project soon.
Me too. I got some plant projects coming up.
Moto Tacey says, love your channel.
Thank you. I have to get through my Christmas projects, and then I'm going to do some plants for my Monster Museum.
John McDonough says, good evening.
Good evening.
Horror Beauty says, I learned about pool noodles and the magic they create for you all. Thank you.
Man, pool noodles are a gift from the crafting gods.
James Turner says, Monster Maker makes a great clear coat for latex masks. Jordan Lynn says, hi, bye, Stan as well. We scared people very successfully.
Hi, Jordan.
Captain Marcus says, late to the party, I'm out collecting another tarantula after running errands.
Hooray!
Shankopotamus says, just joining. Woohoo! What are we creating tonight?
I'm doing a sculpture. I'm doing a Calibos based on sculpture. I'm doing a sculpt based off of Calibos, the character from Clash of the Titans. Now, it won't be 100% accurate, but it's going to have those hard angles, and I'm just kind of putting in the features right now.
Paul Bennett asks, will this sculpt be close to Mersapian or somewhat close? Paul Bennett.
No, this will be a horned monster type thing. Would someone type in that I am sculpting Calibos from Clash of the Titans? I believe it was 1981, but I'm not sure.
Joe Reese says, one Wednesday, okay, where do you sign that? Thank you, Scott Kohler, for the link to Krampus Lab and Airbrush Lab.
1981.
Enigma says, I'm one of the worst drawers you'll ever meet. Happening Mojo says, transformation with a reflective surface or with colored gels and lights projection. Both sound great.
Yes, reflective surface. Yeah.
Ben Green says, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween! Thank you so much. That was my first happy Halloween of the season.
Nice!
Thanks, Ben.
Skin and Bones says, I can only draw stick figures. The Hairy Beastie says, have you read White Wolf or The Swords of Night and Day? And David Gemmell wrote them, and they're not classified as part of the Rust series, but he appears in them.
Yes, I have read those. Skilganon the Damned, I think, is the main character in those. I've read all of the fantasy stuff that David Gemmell has put out in those worlds. I think it's called the Draenei Saga.
Michael Astor says, Classifier. William Clarius says, hi gang, sorry I'm late to the show.
You are perfectly fine.
Says, I'm so excited, I have 52 subscribers.
That's great.
Good job.
What kind of stuff do you do on your channel? Tell us. And maybe people watching here might go subscribe.
Food Shack says, I know about perma-wet and plastic dip. There's another. We're still catching up to that.
Yeah, Liquitex acrylic high gloss medium.
Kalisha F said, did you get Babyface Brew to start pouring one of each mask yet?
No, not yet, not yet. He's got his haunted house stuff to do right now, or ghost tour stuff, I should say. So he's doing that.
Big D Hunter says, what process did you use to make the horns for the Krampus mask earlier this week?
Oh, the ones earlier this week I actually bought from a company called Elope, and I just buy them online.
Chad Smith says, sign me up for pre-order on female armature.
Okay.
Lieutenant Towel says, my son-in-law wants to be a werewolf, but just makeup, no mask. Do you have a video on how to do makeup for a werewolf?
No, I don't. I don't. There are so many other good makeup tutorial channels out there that I didn't think that I needed to do one.
The holiday guy wants to know, how much is your cheapest mask? You have blank for $30.
Well, okay, yes, a finished mask, the cheapest is $75, but if you want to buy a blank and finish it and paint it yourself, that's only $30. I have a lot of $30 blanks.
Mask Slasher says, I got the mushroom and underneath part molded and clean. Just have to do the mask now. Does molding get funner? I can only mold one thing in a day without going crazy.
No, it doesn't get any funner.
Ron Chef says, odds Alan slips with the camera pan before the end of tonight? Never tell us the odds.
Never tell me the odds, 3PO. Never tell me the odds.
Haunting by Design says, any advice on making the mask for the movie Hush?
I would have to look at it again. No, right now I don't have any. But if you want to email me that or message me, I can look it up and then give you some pointers.
Six String Slaya says, just rejoin the chat. What's your sculpting?
I am sculpting Calibos from Clash of the Titans. Not exact. I'm sculpting my version. I'm sculpting my take on it. Partially because I don't want to do a retread, and then partially because I don't have any access to my reference material because Stacy needs the computer for comments.
Captain Dempsey says, almost got him, damn you, Stan.
What?
You stopped him from panning. Brian Rosales says, I just watched both Clash of the Titans recently. The original was way better in my opinion. Loved all those classic movies like that, including Sinbad movies.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Sinbad movies. Clash of the Titans, they're all so fun.
Misty Chizerski says, I love Bunnicula series by James Howell. It's about a bunny that's a vampire who uses his fangs to suck the life from veggies.
I remember that.
Me too. Camera Otter says, hi from Slidell, Louisiana. I really enjoy your Halloween prop videos, especially for pool noodles. We've got plenty around here. Never thought of using them like that? Great ideas.
Awesome.
William
love that.
Claris says, Alan Baby Yoda vids were way cool. Thanks for doing it.
Oh, the Baby Yoda videos. I forgot all about those. That was like Christmas time. I did those. I made the Baby Yodas in order to give away to white elephant Christmas parties. So that's why I made them.
Angela Lucifer says, can you say hello to my wife Hannah? She loves monsters and she deals with me.
Hannah, hello. I appreciate your sacrifice, Hannah. Just want to say that.
Six String Slaya says, what's a 3/4 armature?
It is this is a half mask armature because this mask, and you know what? This is something that a lot of people just don't know. So let's do this. This is important. To me, it's important because it's kind of my job. So are camera poses. All right, so a half mask is going, turn around to make sure I wasn't panning the camera over here. He's on the job.
When did I become the
So a half mask armature, all right, is going to make a mask that covers half of the head, the front half, just the face. Normally to the ears or just behind. I make a very deep armature, so my half mask armature actually covers the ears. Most don't because it's a half mask. A 3/4 mask, all right, is one that will go from the crown of the head down to the chin. So it covers most of the head, but it doesn't cover, the back of the neck, because that's about the biggest mask you can mold in a one-piece mold the first time. And then there is a quarter mask. A quarter mask covers 1/4 of the head. And this is getting tricky lately because a quarter mask is supposed to cover from the mouth up, forehead, like hairline, down, and then to the lip, to the top lip. So your bottom mouth is all free, and this is a quarter mask. Now, some people call that a moving open jaw mask, but it's technically a quarter mask. Now people, because of COVID and things are changing, there's a lot more masks that are mandible masks is what they should be called. It's a mandible mask. It covers your mandible. It covers this area right here. And, you know, so there you go. And then there is a 8th mask, sometimes called a domino mask, which is what Robin wears. It just covers your eyes, which I don't understand those. Like, give me only the annoying part of the mask, please. Don't give me the cool parts. Just give me the part that's going to bother me and make me angry.
JTA Hunt says, just joined, looks interesting so far. I wonder what it is.
It is going to be a Calibos type character from Clash of the Titans.
So we should get all of our paint labels to arrive on Thursday.
Hey!
Oh, so just in time to not be ready for Halloween. Awesome.
Max Slasher says, I'm still planning to send you a cave dweller. My husband is supposed to come help me before because I made the mold larger than it really needed to be and it's hard to work with.
Wow, you did a good one then. That's impressive. I do that sometimes.
Rotten Monster says, how do you know how much to sell a mask for?
I have been doing this for 30 some years, so that's one of the ways that I know. But if you're just starting out and you want a simple formula, cost of materials times 5 is a good way to go. Or set a day rate for yourself. How much do you need to make in a day? I'm going to work a full day, which to me is 10 hours. Okay? And in that 10-hour time period, I know that I could pour up 10 masks, pull 10 masks, clean them, and then I could paint 10 masks. I can make 10 half masks in a day. So, and actually, when I was pushing myself, I could do 12 in a day. So my half mask cost $75 because I want to make $1,000 a day. If I'm in the shop and I'm busting my butt, I want to make $1,000. So my half masks are priced so that I will make $1,000 when I sell 12 of them. Okay.
Patrick Redding says, greetings, creepers. Mass Slasher says, I plan on including a doom shroom, maybe, too, because I want to see you paint one. They're yours, you can do whatever you want with them.
Dude, that'd be awesome. I would love to do some haunt stuff with a doom shroom.
Latini Towel says, do you sell your masks?
I do. I sell masks on my website, which is stiltbestudios.com.
Patrick Sheffield says, hi, fellow Texan. How much artistic ability do you need to possess to sculpt? I'd like to take a mask class sometime in the future, but I'm worried I would make a disaster.
Well, here's the thing, man. You don't need artistic ability to sculpt. You need the artistic ability to have a vision. Being good at sculpting, it's being good at looking at crap. I'm looking at those eyebrows on the picture, and now I'm looking at what I sculpted. And I have to make these match those. And I can't change the picture, but I can change the clay. The clay is like super easy to change. So you work on this until it looks like that. And then you pick cheekbones that you like, and then you work on your cheekbones until they look right. And then you work on your jaw. Sculpting without natural artistic talent is just an exercise in not giving up. Don't give up on this clay until it looks right. That's all. If you have perseverance, then you can be an excellent sculptor. If you're good at math, you can be an excellent sculptor because a lot of it is just angles. You know, I know that angle, I know that shape. It's geometry. So it's not about art. I'm not good at this because I'm a good artist. I'm good at this because it's what I wanted to do, and I worked to become good at it. I didn't have a natural talent for it. The first Bigfoot mask I sculpted looked a little bit like someone chewed bubble gum and spit it out, and it looked vaguely like Bigfoot. That's what it looked like. Now I'm better.
JLR says, watching the video of you making the corn stalks, how many did you make, and how long did it take you to make them?
I think I only made about 60, and I did it in like a day and a half, but I didn't work a full 10, 12-hour day on them either.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the Making a Baby Yoga link. Latini Towel says, if you do sell masks, do you have a werewolf one, and can I buy it off you?
Dude, I have so many werewolves, it's not even funny. I am a werewolf fan. I love werewolves. So yes, there's werewolves on my website. I have a moving jaw werewolf, which I think is very nice, and I have a lot of wolfmen masks, which I think are nice.
Calibos says, domino masks were always done. Jen says, domino masks are like Superman's glasses.
Yes.
Crazy Joe 67 says, when I was a kid, I went to the movies to see Clash of the Titans.
Awesome. Me too. I saw it in the theater.
Thank you, Scott Colhart, for the Wolfman link.
And I was such a square kid. I hid my eyes when there were boobs because I knew I wasn't supposed to see them. Yeah.
Paul Bennett says the movie Clash of the Titans, Robot Owl was best.
Conan.
Conan. Oh,
Hit
yeah.
my face. Beastmaster. Hit my face during boobs because I didn't think I was supposed to look at them.
Big Dog Mass says love the owl. William Clarius says, Alan, what is the best way, spirit gum or latex, to attach a foam appliance?
Both of your choices are wrong. I'm sure that you're a wonderful person, and I'm glad that you're asking. The best way to attach a foam latex prosthetic is going to be Prozaid. I have some actually right here. This is not technically Prozaid. This is Pro Key. This is a Prozaid type adhesive for prosthetics. So I do have Prozaid over there, but Prozaid is what you want. If you buy Prozaid, by God, buy the remover, because it will not come off all by itself. This is Prozaid. It is a very simple, I could probably glue a brick to someone's face with Prozaid.
Handily.
Yeah.
All right. Patrick Blakewell says, Happy Halloween from Mineral Wells, Texas. I'm new to the channel, but I've binged a lot. You gave me the drive to finish my Oogie Boogie costume for Halloween this year.
That is awesome.
Calibos says, I want to make 10K a day. What do I do?
Then you have to price your things at $10,000 at $1,000 a piece. If you can make 10 in a day, if you can only make 5 in a day, they have to be $2,000 a piece. And then you have to find the clientele to buy them.
Samantha Surovec says, Domino masks obscure your brows, which actually, scientifically proven, makes it harder to identify someone.
Yes.
So better than glasses. Good job. Angie Rogers says, at work on break, catch in a few minutes.
Hello, Angie Rogers.
William Claris says,
Thanks for almost getting fired over us.
Happy Halloween to all.
Happy Halloween.
Chad Smith says, Keith, finish 1 car a day. Jump on it.
Yeah, just finish a car. Do a whole
Enigma
car.
says, shout out to Scott and Stacy. Thanks.
Yay.
Thank you, Scott Kohler, for the link to the Sculpting Studio shop. Happy Mojo says, sell a kidney. You can only do it twice. Second time is not advised. Sassy7173 says, I'm good at painting and blending, but I've never had much luck with sculpting.
Well, I think you haven't done it enough.
Greg Simmons says, so what you're saying is there's hope for us engineers who want to sculpt.
Oh, without doubt. Of course there is. People with an engineering mind, I think they do some of the best work because, you know, they're a little more obsessed over details. I am not obsessed over details. I have an engineering-ish mind, but not in that capacity. I want to make things work, and you know, you can make better masks if you are able to think about several processes at once. Like when I'm sculpting something with horns, I'm going to make a structure here that has a lot of ridges in it, because those ridges, I'm using the surface area that has to hold up that weight, so they're not going to have as much flop and such. When you are thinking about molding, you have to be able to think in the negative, where if I put a pumpkin tooth in here, do I have a clean path to get in and get that tooth and get it out of the mold, or will it get stuck? All of those are things that we have to consider. I just accidentally stuck my finger in my own mouth. I think you guys saw that. It was completely an accident.
Our friend, not our smart friend.
That's right. I'm not your smart friend.
Kimberly99 says, any tips on sculpting a face correctly? Just stare at reference pics long enough?
Reference pictures, and reference is huge, but you have to do something with the reference. You have to listen to the reference and listen to what it's telling you. But also, there's so many good drawing guides for sculpting human faces that's the avenue that I would probably recommend right off the bat, because the human face, it's the same. You know, you're going to go straight down the middle, and you're going to go roughly halfway is where the eyes are, roughly halfway is the eye line, and then, you know, and I teach this when I do airbrush classes, because we actually airbrush faces. And then it's all about, you know, your head is also, it's 5 eyeballs wide. You know, it's knowing those proportions, and when you get that down, that's why being an engineer is good. You know those proportions, and that it gives your sculptures just more realism.
Lisa Arndt says, good evening. Wow, over 200 viewers. Congrats.
People who are, why thank you, people who are very artistic sometimes are bad at sculpting because they can imagine anatomy that wouldn't work. So then you look at it and everybody, their brain says, well, that anatomy doesn't work, so it's not realistic. So that's kind of a bit of a drawback. And you have to balance the engineer brain and the artistic brain to make a product that works.
Ransom Hunter Hill says, hey y'all.
Hello.
Big D Hunter says, do you have a tutorial video on how to make a moving jaw mask?
I have a series of live videos where I worked on my moving jaw werewolves, and you could easily extrapolate that if you watch a couple of those lives. So, yes and no. Do I have one single video where I show you how to make a moving jaw mask? No, I don't.
Zach Whiteman says, Telesis is a fantastic remover for prostate.
Telesis, yes. Telesis is a little more expensive than like Betasolve or some of the others. So Telesis is a little expensive, but yeah, it's a good remover.
Happen and Mojo says, for anyone who thinks they have to be born an artist or go to art school or any nonsense like that, I recommend a documentary called Tim's Vermeer. It shows that you need a willing spirit above all.
Yeah, that's all you need.
David Quintana says, good evening, hunters.
Hello.
Amy Watkins says, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Chad Smith says, I'd be happy to make a couple extra hundred a week on the long road. Thank you, Michael
Yes.
Lassiter, for the link for prostate remover.
And mask making is it's not easy money. It's not like you're gonna, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. That's not the case. I think you have to have some sort of a point of fulfillment out of mask making in order for it to make any sense at all.
Mass Slasher says, I'll probably be able to send the Doom Shroom sooner because, well, it's easier, haha. Is there any way you want me to send it, aka together or 3 separate parts? I'm not sure what you want to do with it.
Oh, well, I'm going to put it together as the artist intended, and then I'll paint it from there.
Hugo says, today Alan is very didactic, making more information for my knowledge management.
Anytime someone asks a question, I'll be happy to answer.
Sassy7173 says, every year we set up a small walkthrough for the kids in our neighborhood. I've seen you make so many things that give me inspiration. Next year it's going to be a whole lot better. Thank you.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I love that. It's good to know that what I'm doing sometimes has a direct effect on folks.
Ransom Hill says, that finger tastes good.
Delicious. Tasted like clay, sadly.
Big Dog says, off to bed, Night Creepers, Alan, Stacy, and Stan.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
William Clarius says, thanks for posting links for prostate.
Stan, are you ready with some information on latex mask paint? Because I'm not going to say who, but someone has to tinkle. And it would be good if someone had something to talk about in that time.
Milton Knowles.
I'm going to grab our prototypes and I'll show you.
Okay.
Milton Knowles, the insane witch king, says, damn, it's hot today in New Zealand.
Wow, awesome. Good to hear from you again.
Kimberly99 says, thanks for the tips. Just the tips.
Yeah.
Jenny Rose says, hey, how's it going?
Hello, Jenny Rose.
Happen to Mojo says, give an engineer a pair of calipers, graphing paper, and proper reference, and they'll make a good sculpt. Points
Yeah.
in relation to other points is the foundation.
Yes. And that's what a lot of folks struggle with. Because their imagination is so good, they fill in that it looks awesome, when no one else sees it.
Paul Bennett says, sorry, Alan, I was confused between Calibo and Kraken. I thought Kraken's name was Calibo. That's why I asked earlier if it was close to Mersapian. Now it makes sense. Now I know what you're sculpting.
Hooray.
Horror Beauty says, isopropyl mirror state?
Mirror state.
Remover?
Yeah, that's one of the cheaper removers. Stan, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let me, I need to make a visual note so I remember where I'm at on this sculpture. And I can come back to this place and that will remind me. And now it's Stan can sit in the chair that I pre-warmed for him.
It's the
Whilst
stand
I drink a lot of beverage, so I have to think. That's how bodies work.
Jay Harvey says, I love your work, bub. Yeah.
Everybody.
Thank
know.
you.
Let's talk about masks.
Thanks. Wow, it really is warm. All right. It's shockingly warm. Wasn't prepared. Hey everybody, so we've been really hard at work on this. We got everything got approved through the company that's making our labels for us. If you haven't seen it before, these are our prototypes. I'm going to bring it a little closer. These are the 3 sizes that we're going to offer. These are our Beast Effects paints. We're going to have 13 colors, I think.
The baker's dozen.
Yeah, the baker's dozen. We are, can you hear that piece of paper behind you? Tacked to the wall.
There.
Thank you. And we're going to have 6 kits. So we're going to have all these individually. We have a large bottle, which is really similar. These are the colors we use in the shop all the time for Monster Camp and for Mass Camp and for Krampus Lab.
And for just making a mask that we sell.
And just for making the masks that we sell. So we're selling the same that we use in the shop, which is awesome. So we're going to be selling some of the larger ones individually. There's 4-ounce bottles, and we're going to have the 2-ounce bottles. Tell you how to use them, have all the nice little warnings listed on them. And so we will have a basic, one of the things that's really awesome is we're going to have them in kits that'll make them easier to put together. We're going to have a basic kit, a Halloween kit, a skull, an undead, a werewolf, and a witch.
That way people can buy a blank,
Exactly.
and then we can do combos with masked blanks and paint.
Exactly.
That's exciting.
It's exciting. You'll have everything you need, order a blank, have all the paint that you need. So many videos Alan's already done that tells you how to paint the masks, and every night that that he does this and shows the technique. So we're really excited. It's been a long time coming.
Been a process. Tell them about the kits.
So what we've got, I'm going to read this because I haven't committed it all to memory yet. Our colors are going to be Cadaver Blue, Carrion Yellow, Creature Purple, Devil Red, Goblin Flesh, October Orange, Halloween Magenta, Osteo White, Pitch Black, Sasquatch Brown,
Sasquatch.
Tomb Gray, Troll Green, and Witch Green. So these are just 2 of our colors. This is called Goblin Flesh, which is pretty, basic. And this is going to be our Witch Green. And if you've been here for Monster Camp or any of the others, you've seen the big wall. But we are going to have a basic kit. It's going to be, every one of our kits comes with black and white. So you're going to have plenty of that. The large bottles that we're going to sell, I think the only ones we're going to sell in the beginning are going to be black and white. So they'll be the ones you'll use the most. Our basic kit is Cadaver Blue, Carrion Yellow, Devil Red, Sasquatch Brown. The great part is these are the primaries, so you can mix them into kind of whatever you want, depending on what you want to do. We have our Halloween, so we have white, black, Carrion Yellow, October Orange, Sasquatch Brown, and Troll Green. Our Skull series is going to be Cadaver Blue, Carrion Yellow, Goblin Flesh, and Sasquatch Brown. Undead will be Blue, Purple, Devil Red, and Halloween Magenta. Our Werewolf will be Goblin Flesh,
Goblin Flash.
Halloween Magenta, Sasquatch Brown, Tomb Gray. And our Witch package will be Cadaver Blue, Magenta, Troll Green, and Witch Green. So realistically, there won't be anything that you can't paint. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. A lot of really busy days of us putting this together. A lot of legal stuff we had to do. So it's really exciting to be a part of being able to create this for the community and give it to everybody so that you can do this at home. You don't have to go buy mountains of or gallons of paint at a time that you might not use all the time.
Macho Sancho asks Stan what his favorite hot sauce is.
My favorite hot sauce, I think this place closed. I was really sad. There's a place in McKinney, Texas called the Loco Cowpoke, and they make a scorpion pepper salsa, which is amazing. I used to buy it by the box.
Abigail Von Grace says it sounds great. Chad says I'm going to pass on Goblin Flash.
Goblin Flash is awesome.
Michael Scott says you should have Shadow Gray.
Well, the great part is you'll have black and white, so you can make all the shadow gray that you need.
Yeah.
Yep. Fondine says Mom just said Professor Allen should do a Zoom class where we sell a mask kit and do a paint along.
In the works. We're working on it.
Or
Things
he
are
says,
happening.
are you going to do a blank kit?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Michael Scott says, Stan the man eating the ham in the sand. Did you show off your socks again?
These are my Texas special socks.
Angel Martinez says, hello, Stan.
Hello.
Hugo says, hi, Stan.
Hi, Hugo.
Says, hi, Stan.
So Alan's inspecting the top secret stuff nobody can know about.
Macho Sancho wants to know what's your favorite hot sauce, Alan?
Okay, so there's a hot sauce company that does a Krampus sauce, and it's really good. It is a Krampus hot sauce.
Nice.
But they also have one with like it's a green sauce and it's got like a spider on it, and that's also delicious.
Catherine Dempsey says, on average, how much clay is used on a full face mask? I have to drive 4 hours to get clay, so I want to make sure I have enough.
Okay, so buy a 50-pound box, and that's good for a face mask.
Yeah.
Because like the biggest one I've ever done, a half mask like this, is going to be about 30 pounds.
Jenny Rose says, gosh, where do you live?
Dallas, Texas area.
The Metroplex.
William Clarius asks, Alan, do you ever reuse any of the clay after the sculpt and plaster process?
Every now and then, but not terribly often, because it gets little plaster chips in it and stuff, and I prefer not to dig out plaster chips from a sensitive area.
Jay Harvey says, I love your work, bub. Keep it up. Milton Knowles, the Insane Witch King, says, do you have any shortcuts on making dream catchers? Because I'm making 6 of them, if the willows break.
No, I don't think you should shortcut your dream catcher process.
Your seat's still warm.
Thanks.
Haunting by Design says, you'll answer any question free except for clowns, and there'll be a full clown.
Yes.
implemented.
If you ask me a question about clowns, you have to pay a $5 clown tax for many various and sundry reasons. But yes, there will or possibly could be a clown tax if you have a haunted house clown question.
Laura Beauty says, Prose remover works best, though.
Yes. Because it's designed for it.
Abdul Von Grave says, this sounds awesome, and roast meat. Macho Sancho says, if I got flashed by a goblin, I'd stab my eyes out.
And how do you know? How do you know? Like, you're hating on goblins, and that's just racist. Like, you know, but maybe they're very well manicured. That's all I'm saying.
Happen and Mojo says, you guys are going to the Vallejo road and naming the sets naming the sets after what you're likely to paint. Cool.
Yeah, kind of.
Ken Zurich says, Sasquatch Brown, love the name. Mask Slasher says, one more question about the mask. How would you go about keeping the mushroom holding its shape and attaching the underneath, and how would you do it? I have an idea, but I'm a little unclear.
EVA foam. You need something with more structural support than latex. Latex is floppy. You need to inject something that is not as floppy. I would go with an EVA foam structure to hold your fangs.
Adil Von Grave says, makeup kits? Question mark.
No makeup. Makeup is there's a whole process, being FDA approved and all that. And so, no, not for me. I don't do that much makeup. Now, I may do airbrush makeup down the road. That is a certain possibility. I'm actually in talks with a company already about doing airbrush makeup,
Nice.
but not like palette makeup.
Milton Knowles, the Insane Witch King, says, wow, with those skinny and hairy legs, I'm not sure if I'm impressed or not.
Be impressed. Stan's an impressive creature.
Yes. Misty Josierski says, the kits are a sweet idea. Josh Wilson says, when you first opened your Pro Haunt, did you have investors or loans and credit cards?
Okay, so, all right, I have owned a haunted house in the past. I don't own one right now. Right now, I'm the director of Dark Hour Haunted House, which is owned by an independent, wealthy person. So, when I opened mine, no, I just, I started cheap and I stayed cheap, and then that's how I did it.
Tina Kusiak says, more salsa talk. Alice Cooper sells a set of salsa.
And it's the Halloween hot sauce company, by the way. And they have little coffin bottles and things. They're actually really cool stuff. Victor Ives, I think, is the guy's name who does it, if I remember right. That's not something I've tried to commit to memory, so maybe I'm wrong. But Victor Ives, Halloween hot sauce.
Macho Sancho says, I'm anti-goblin.
Well, I think I'm pro-goblin. I'm not pro-goblin flashing, but I'm pro-goblin.
Chad Smith says, what's the best way to take out a clown? Forever. Milton Knowles, the Insane Witch King, says, does the clown tax imply if we ask a question about a witch clown or a werewolf clown? I'm just curious because I reckon I should make both.
You should, privately in your own home, and don't talk to me about it. Go make stuff. Just don't tell me about it.
Jennifer Pugh says, good night all. I'll catch the replay tomorrow at work and maybe 3 hours of other still these videos.
Let me tell you about my haunted house clown character is the equivalent of let me tell you about my 20th level paladin. It's the same.
Angela's Lucifer says, how about making a Wendigo mask with big stag antlers?
I have done that, and I enjoy them.
Jose Vargas says, she said, Sasquatch.
Oh, okay.
Shane Hippopotamus says, what do you think about using the sculptable UVA foam?
I like it. I've got jars of it up there. I use it quite a bit for different things. Yes, it is enjoyable.
Macho Sancho says, as a suspender man myself, Alan needs thicker straps in his suspenders. It's more comfortable.
Okay, so these are not suspenders. I do wear suspenders a lot. It looks like I'm wearing suspenders. Don't worry, I'm not showing that side of the shop. He's giving me the eye. I'm not wearing suspenders. What I'm wearing is actually, it's a back brace. It's a back brace because
It's your girdle of power.
yesterday I worked 21 hours in the shop, so that's a lot of concrete floor and just a little bit of a change of pace.
Josh Wilson says, thank you, sir. Rotten Monster says, why the hate for clowns?
It's not hate, it is benign, fervent, just fervent indifference. I don't, there's so many haunted house clowns out there. And I know there's too many, and haunted house clowns know there are too many. Because when someone wants to tell you about their haunted house clown character, they say, let me tell you about my clown character. The next thing they say every single time is my clown is different from other clowns. They say that every single time. And because they know there's just too many clowns out there. And then there are clown doctors and clown mechanics and clown whatever, because they're trying desperately to stand out in this field of insane giggling and honks. And they can't, because a clown is a clown. And anytime that someone starts at a haunted house and they can make anything in the world that they want, and they go for the low-hanging fruit that is haunt clown, it kind of hurts my heart a little bit. Because what didn't they do with that freedom? What didn't they make? Instead of bringing another clown into the world, maybe they could have invented like a toenail golem, or Leroy the kidney stealer. That would be, I want to see what that's look like. I want to see Nine-Toed Pete, the pirate character. I want to see all that stuff. But I'm going to see another clown. And why are clowns low-hanging fruit? Because A, they're easy. They're easy to costume. They're cheap to costume. And they're very few haunted house costumes, when you put them on, whisper in your ear and tell you what to do. A clown costume will tell you what to do. It will say, have a crazy laugh and act like a butthole. That's what it says. And then they have a crazy laugh and then they act like a butthole. And that's haunted house clowning. And they tend to work with tunnel vision. Whereas they see the audience that's right in front of them, and they don't necessarily look at. They haunt from 6 feet. They only see what's happening within a 6-foot sphere of influence. And when you step out and you are a haunted house actor who works a little differently, and there are some who are good, and I'm not saying that all of them are like this, but this narrow field of vision, it's pretty prevalent. Also, I don't know of a haunted house clown who pays his own car insurance. I'm just saying, that's kind of a thing.
Rachel
And that
Powell
tells you
says-
what you need to know.
Rachel Powell says, you take a clown out to a cheesy dinner in a tiny car, and that's how you take out a clown.
Right, there you go.
Josh Wilson says, clowns aren't so bad. Abbott Emoji says, they taste funny. Sleeping Link says, if you charge enough clown taxes, you can buy that yak stretcher.
That's right. I got myself a new yak stretcher.
1980 says, in Australia, Wendigos arrive and babies disappear. Horror Beauty says, your back brace. Angela's sister says, thank you. Is it on your website? Yes,
What on my website?
The Wendigo mask.
I think a Wendigo mask is on my website. I don't know. I make so many things. Like, I bet I've made 60 masks, like new masks, sculpts and molds since March. Like, I make a lot of masks. So, yeah.
Milton Knowles, the Insane Witch King, says, you thought about making a Krampus clown mask?
No, I don't think about clowns. Because why would I go where someone else has been? I don't want that. I want to try and do some new fun things. I want to do some different things. I don't want to do things that I see all over the place.
Happen in Mojo says, as someone who role plays a paladin, I resemble that remark.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
1980 says, I messed that up. Wendigos arrive, babies disappear. Gotcha.
Yeah.
DJ Moore says, I just don't get the whole clown thing. For me, it's not scary. Chad Smith says, low-hanging fruit says it all. Celeste Kitty says, I only know one original clown character, Jeremy Spicer, the toy maker.
Okay.
Josh Wilson says, well, most clowns are the same guy that created the clown character in the beginning. Or the same as a guy who created the clown character in the beginning. Azure Muse says, I'm just wondering where you're hanging out that you know so many freaking clowns.
Dude, you have no idea. It's not hanging out. It is. It's haunted attractions, and I'm a part of the haunted attraction community. I'm at least on the outskirts of it, and there are lots of haunted house clowns.
Rather a lot of them about.
Is there a pair of glasses somewhere?
There it is.
Calibos is fuzzy, and I haven't put any hair on him yet.
Yeah.
Why? Thank you for
Either.
these dirty glasses.
Listen, I just picked mine off the
I
floor
put-
and put them in the thing.
I put a pair on the other day, and Stan goes, "Can you see out of those?" He like glasses shamed me. It was terrible.
Mass
I couldn't
slasher.
see your eyes through your glasses.
Maybe that was an effect I was going for.
Mass
You didn't
Slasher
know.
says, good night, everyone. It's a short night for me. Looking forward to this sculpt. I'll check out the Still Beast page for pictures.
Don't take this wrong, but enjoy your mushroom.
Oh! Josh Wilson says, clowns and chainsaws are on the same level. Macho Sandra says, I kick clowns and they're low-hanging fruits.
All right now.
Dave Jennings says, yak stretcher. Knowles the Insane Witch King says, I want to see a haunted house with a bunch of different monsters who dress up as clowns. And instead of a clown, a regular person standing in the air looking normal. Happen Emoji says, clowns are the rule 34 of the haunt world. If you thought about it, it already exists in clown form.
Kind of.
Ezekiel says, some of those Midwest clowns like to grab crotches too. First-hand experience was a shock for this Aussie.
Wow. Enjoy your honk honk.
Blind Victor says, 218 watching.
Well, hi everybody.
Celeste Kitty says, what is your museum called, and do you make everything in it?
It is the Mythical Monster Museum. It is at Scarborough Renaissance Festival in Waxahachie, Texas. That did not happen this year, but we're on track to happen next year. And I did not make everything in it, but I made most of the things in it. I do try to include work from other people, but I make sure that I paint it so it all looks like it comes from the same world. And I just like including other people's work.
Andrew McEachern says, do you know that Paul Bunyan statue from It 2?
No, I don't.
1980 says, when Australian gets caught down under.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Chad Smith says, MHC also has a lot of clown characters, at least it seems that way to me.
They do, and because MHC was it was probably the second biggest haunted attraction convention in the country after Transworld. It was the second biggest. It still is the second biggest. A lot of haunts came there, and a lot of actors went there because that one was more geared towards actors than Transworld is, and that culture of the Ohio haunted house clown sort of leaked out all over the country, and it spread. They were successful at it, and it was easy.
Happen in Mojo says, clowns grabbing your crotch. That's a didgeridoo-don't. I guess Masato missed your answer from earlier. Says, have you ever thought about bringing back some guests from remote like you used to?
I don't have the technical wherewithal to be able to do that. When I did that, that was either on Google Hangouts or that was on Facebook, and I don't know that that same technology is there. So and it couldn't be on YouTube. So that would be something I'd have to figure out.
Ezekiel says, hey, a good clown grove might get you a good old-fashioned jaw blasted. Depends on how many drinks I've had.
Yeah.
Or Beauty says, thank you, everyone. It's never a dull moment here. I needed a good laugh, and man, I am tears right now. Six String Slayer says, how long will one clay stay workable before it dries out and starts to crack? I'm a slower sculptor who likes to take a week or more on a sculpt. Is this the wrong clay for me?
It doesn't have to be. I mean, just wet it down and cover it with plastic. Here in Texas, if I leave it sit out in July with the, then it might dry out in like 4 or 5 hours. But if it were in those conditions where maybe fans are on and it's real hot, that's going to dry it out fast. I just cover it with plastic except for the spot that I'm working on. So there's always ways around it. Not necessarily. I think it's a good clay. I need a clay that'll work as fast as I think, because I don't want to take a week on a sculpture. I mean, I'm getting this one dialed in. It's taken a little while, but I am getting this guy dialed in. And yeah.
Michael Lester says, if you're on the outskirts of the Honda industry, the rest of us are on a different continent.
Well, I don't want to claim to be anything. I enjoy what I do. I've been in the industry for a while.
Macho Sancho says, what does Alan and Stan think about the modern horror genre?
Well, right now, I think that we are a little sinistered out. I think that, and not just sinister, but there's this the demonology movies, and a lot of horror right now is demonology and ghosts. I'm glad like the Rob Zombie wave is over. While he did some original things with House of a Thousand Corpses and that group of movies, I don't like people killing people. I like my horror movies to have a supernatural edge to them, and a lot of his just don't. So I'm awaiting more monster movies as opposed to just slasher movies, serial killer movies, and possession movies. So many possession movies.
It's too much CGI.
Stan is angry at CGI.
I am angry.
Yeah.
There's not enough practical effects anymore. Everything's CGI, even blood now.
And you know what? That is actually what I didn't like about the new Clash of the Titans. It's kind of coming full circle.
Yeah, so much CGI.
And it seems like it's so easy for them. You know, those giant, I like...
The Scorpions.
I know that somebody worked on it, but it doesn't feel the same.
Ken Zurich says, while I'm watching the live, I'm watching the Purge election year.
Okay.
Angela Solicitor, I'm going to charge you a $5 clown tax to even ask that question.
Okay, we have a you asked me the question.
What about a butthole clown?
What about a butthole clown? Well, I think that the quality of my response is reflected in the quality of the question.
Big D Hunter says, my favorite costume that I have worn was a black hoodie and a baseball cap. I was working a drop panel. It was hilarious.
Okay.
Robert White says, did Alan say a nine-toed clown or a nine-toed pirate?
I said nine-toed Pete. He was a pirate.
Rotten Monster says, the feeling you have about clowns is what I had for Michael Myers.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's technically there's only one Michael Myers, but boy, are there a lot of variations on that mask.
Evan McEachran says, I've been to the statue that chased Richie.